पहले वीडियो पे अगर हम कैंसिल हो गए ना I swear. Okay. Oh my god.
Head to head.
God, the two most toxic communities ever. This is the most spicy.
Yeah.
तेरे taxes file नहीं होने वाले सही से बाबू.
Might as well call it the real engine.
It is a good industry. It is very much real.
He is being so salty right now. My god.
Overrated.
I mean, they were also already.
Okay, they're in, and they're gonna have to take the loss, and they're gonna have to say like, okay, I'm screwed. Now they have to also live with the bad rep.
Hello everyone, I'm Tushar, the fantasy guy,
And I'm Aman. I'm the hairy guy.
and we are here with Jaydev sir,
Hey guys,
who is the lead game designer at Whistling Woods International.
I'm heading the game design department here at Whistling Woods. It's an institute in Mumbai where we have a degree program in game design and development.
Yeah, and we welcomed you to something that we haven't came up with the name for.
Yeah.
It's fiction-related podcast.
We're trying to figure out. We're trying to figure out a name. We're trying to keep it fiction related, fiction characters, people in fiction, people who work in fiction.
Behind the scenes, everything.
Yeah.
All the cool people who make the cool stuff.
Yeah. So if you guys have any recommendations, please drop
For
in
the name. We
comments, yeah.
think fiction podcast.
Fiction podcast or
Is
Jaydev
one of
sir
them.
can also
I think fiction podcast sounds nice.
fiction podcast. Sounds
Yeah.
nice.
So we'll think about that.
think
But
about
let's begin with the first episode.
Yeah. And thank you for Whistling Woods for letting us record here. It's being recorded in Whistling Woods Institute. Yes. And thank you, Jaydev sir, for inviting us and letting us shoot here.
No problem, man.
So as Jaydev sir is in the video game industry, he's the head of department here. We'd like to start with very light-hearted questions regarding games.
Okay.
And as anyone would start this thing, would be the first question would be, what is your favorite game and what is your favorite video game character?
Okay. This is very difficult to, I've been playing games for so long, right? But I think for me, the favorite game definitely is Warcraft 3. I mean, that game is a masterpiece, okay? Given the time that it came out, given the tech that was there at the time, Warcraft 3 really put a new spin to the RTS genre. And with different factions having different pros and cons, the hero, the champion mechanics that they had, those were like some of the very unique things that Warcraft had, and even the narrative design for that game was just amazing. So yeah, Warcraft 3 is definitely my most favorite game of all time.
Yeah, it's fun. I remember playing Warcraft 3 with my science teacher in school. It was a very weird experience having to play a video game with your class teacher. So yeah, I remember that distinctively about Warcraft 3. So yeah,
I think you had a great teacher.
she was a great teacher. Yeah.
I have no idea about Warcraft. The only craft I have played is Minecraft. And that's my number one game. But okay, that answers one of the question. What's your most favorite game character, like fictional character of all time?
Strictly video games.
Strictly video games. No Marvel.
Okay. Strictly video games. Oh, there are so many. Like I think video game character design in general has come such a long way. Like and when you ask me this question today, I not only look at it as a player but also as a developer, also as someone who's been in the industry.
Right.
So knowing the stories behind the characters or behind the creation of the characters has given it such a depth for me that now I don't look at it in the sense that I used to look at. But keeping all of those in mind, I have a lot. But right now, the one character that really comes to my mind is this one champion that's there in the game League of Legends, okay? And the character is Kindred, okay? The the backstory of Kindred, the game mechanics of Kindred, and how the lore and the game mechanics and the character kit ties in so beautifully. It's just amazing. So Kindred is basically a character who used to be a lonely guy, okay, who then splits himself in two. He takes an axe and cuts himself down the middle, and it's actually death personified. Okay, so that's Kindred, and the two sides of death are the lamb and the wolf. Okay. So the lore is that anyone who accepts death as just a thing, as just a thing that happens to life, okay, the sheep comes for it, okay, the lamb comes for it, because anyone who goes peacefully into the night is taken by the lamb, and anyone who fights against death, anyone who tries to defy death, the wolf is the more aggressive side that comes for you. So, and the gameplay of the character is very similar, and hence I think Kindred right now is like my favorite character. There's so much depth in play and the lore itself. Beautiful.
लीग ऑफ लेजेंड्स से तो व्यूज आ गए, LOL के फैंस से तो व्यूज आ गए.
हाँ, लीग ऑफ लेजेंड्स कैरेक्टर,
वन मेजर गेम्स के हमने व्यूज इकट्ठा कर लिए यहाँ पे. थैंक यू जयदेव सर.
टच ग्रास.
League of Legends, I don't know, man.
Like, why do you think League of Legends players get so much hate online?
Because honestly, we are a toxic community. I have been a League player for like, I don't know, about 10, 12 years now. Okay, I'm never getting out of bronze though. Okay. So my motto in League of Legends is bronze forever.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. Embrace it.
I just play it for fun. Yes, there are people who play League of Legends for fun. Okay? Even though it is supposed to be the most competitive game. I'll tell you, so that's where the hatred really comes from. Okay, it is a competitive game. The game is supposed to bring out a very aggressive competitive side, and along with it comes the toxicity. Yes, it gets too much. At some point, it's just unacceptable,
unbearable. The things I have heard from the mouth of League players is
diabolical.
Get a life.
Hey, come on. Coming up with those insults is also creative.
Oh,
okay?
Yeah. That's also a creative aspect of League of Legends. कि कितना ज़्यादा toxic हो सकते हो.
No, but I recently, I think Riot has started taking, all these complaints and all these reports of toxic behavior very seriously. I don't know if they're using AI right now, because it's very difficult to be able to monitor every game. Now imagine this. There's this, like, at any given point of time, League has like millions of players online. Okay, so there's like literally some few million games going on during the day. And if every game has a report, somebody has to sit through the game and read the logs and everything. It's inhuman amount of work. Okay, so recently I started seeing a lot more stricter and a lot more quicker response to complaints, and I'm assuming that they've started using AI to do a lot of these analysis, because earlier it wasn't possible with humans. So I really like how Riot is like becoming more strict in trying to solve this toxicity problem. But
Riot makes games which are supposed to have toxic players, like Valorant again.
Again, they're competitive games, right?
Fans.
It's esports. So it's part and parcel of the...
You're an esports player. I think you should know about getting into the competitive side.
I'm a hybrid athlete, so I know the spirit of sportsmanship.
There is... Games and sports are two completely different things, my man.
Yeah, but Olympics is adding esports as a category in Olympics, so it is also considered a sport. And like, I don't really have a whole opinion about it, but I think if it is considered a sport, there should be sportsman spirit as well.
Okay.
But then again, I think competitiveness and toxicity is part of every sport. Even in cricket, even though it's supposed to be a gentleman's game, we have some amazing moments of in-depth rivalry that have shown up on field in front of fans.
In front of camera.
In front of
on
camera.
public television. Yeah.
The famous quote by Virat Kohli.
I think this is supposed to be PG-13. You've been creating games for a long time. So you might also have a favorite kind of a world, the world building. So we had a question: if you had to mix two worlds, two IPs, to make a new IP, so which one would you choose?
Like for example, mixing Doom Eternal with Minecraft. It will give a unique kind of playstyle, world and idea. So what's the most creative aspect of two worlds that you want to mix and see that game come to life?
Game come to
I think this is a very interesting question. And as the child in me would go berserk about which two words I want to merge. Okay. I mean, I think one of the funniest things that the community has in general done is Doom and which was that animal game? Animal Crossing, right?
Yeah,
that kind of the whole Barbenheimer type of thing that they did over there. I found that ridiculously funny. And also I think it's ground for great content because so Doom, right? Doom lore has been
Doom for life.
Yeah, Doom.
Doom is actually eternal, so not for life. Doom is actually eternal. Yeah, we'll get back to this. But yeah.
Okay, so I find the idea of Animal Crossing and a Doom crossover to be really fascinating and interesting. Personally, if I were to do something like that, very controversial because I don't think it's ever going to happen because this is kind of saying let's have Marvel and DC collide.
It has happened.
I would want a League of Legends and Dota.
Oh my god.
Head to head.
God, the two most toxic
Communities ever.
I really want to see that, okay? Because I think one of the problems I keep having is there are phases when I'm suddenly moved by the urge to just play Dota. So I'll install Dota and I'll play it for 2 months or so, and then I'll be like, yeah, ये micromanagement based नहीं होता. Okay, so I quit Dota and then I go back to League, which is slightly more a strategic gameplay more than the tactical gameplay. And Dota has champions like Chen and everything, which I would love to get good at, but I don't think I'll ever get good at Chen because controlling each minion separately is not my thing. But I would love to see those two games combined.
I think
I can see that, I say, imagining it can come up with something.
I think there will be a separate XP point for the most creative galis you can create while in game, because that is going to be hilarious watching.
The clips of people raging on that game or that world if it is ever created.
Hilarious.
Plus, I think there's also that part of me which really wants to see the best of Dota go up against the best of League.
Yeah.
Okay, so a Faker versus Dendy kind of a game would be. The viewership would be through the roof. I would definitely watch it.
Yeah, absolutely. I would watch it for the sportsmanship. I do like to call. But yeah, that is what would you like to have, two worlds mix up?
Oh, if two worlds mixing up. Okay, I am a big fan of God of War. The original trilogy of God of War, which was in Greek mythology, not the current Norse mythology one. So the art style of that world, the monsters that kind of it has, and that going up with Prince of Persia.
Okay.
The mechanics of it, as a fluent movement, wall
So
running.
you basically want a God of War Egypt version or a Persia.
Kind of. God of Ubisoft, please. No, please.
We have to cut that. Yeah, but if you're watching, please make a dream come true.
I think that would be amazing.
Let Santa Monica handle it. And what about you? Something with Doom, I know.
No, I would rather not go with Doom because I think Doom is a perfect game.
Doom should just keep doing what they're doing.
What they're doing. I just love what they're doing. But I would rather have something from Dungeons and Dragons like Dragon Age Origins and Cyberpunk. So I want the mystical and fantasy characters mixed in a very hyper realistic futuristic thing, cyberpunk thing. That would be like seeing a centaur with mechanical horns and something like that. I would love to see that.
I think there's something like that does exist. What is that game that these guys keep playing?
If there's a game like this, I'll just go home and just download it.
Warframe.
Warframe, I've tried.
Comes close.
Comes close.
But I haven't seen like the actual mythical figures like the centaurs and the minotaurs and all the other fantasy creatures. I would like to see them with the hybrid of like having.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah.
Oh,
but they're kind
Yeah,
of
comes
like
close, kind of.
robots.
But they are.
So what I'm talking about is having those like dwarfs have like implants, having those metal implants. Like they're still dwarfs, they're still elves, there's still political distress going on between mages and the Templars, but now in a more futuristic kind of way. Like they stayed the same, but the world has now been evolved, but they still are just the same, doing the same stuff. The dwarfs are making those implants, they're smithing, and they are still the elves are still fighting for freedom. I would like to see that in a futuristic setting.
I think it's a tough merge to make happen because the political scenario would actually change from Templars and mages fighting to tech and mages fighting, because now magic versus tech would be like the
that would also be
bigger
a very good
conflict.
twist to it.
That can be like a full-on war.
Yeah, and I think that's where the world evolution would go. But I think it's
That's where the game developer mind comes in. Like, okay, now I had an idea, but then you came in with like, okay, there might be this thing that might affect the narrative and the whole world.
Some
building of
devs,
it.
if you want to make this a reality, we can.
I'm
brainstorm.
pretty sure these kind of discussions have definitely happened at the Dragon Age offices as well, where they will have explored the idea of doing like a futuristic version. But these things are like extremely, difficult to pull off. Right? You might get something fantastic out of it, or you might get like a complete shit show. Like I don't know if I'm allowed to say that word, but
we can read it out.
yeah. So
Don't worry about it.
So it can go either ways, and I think with larger IPs like Dragon Age and the volume of work that will go into that, just taking a risk in that direction is pretty expensive, I would say. But hey, keep asking for.
It will be
these things.
either really great or really messed up.
Yeah.
There's no in between.
I'll play it still. I'll still play it. It's my fantasy world that I want to live in, and I'll play it even if it's bad.
I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be fun, but it's a tough ask.
Tough ask. Moving on with
The next question.
dev-related stuff. Let's
Yes.
go on with.
The first question is, what's one big change you have witnessed since you joined the gaming industry? Like, you have been in the industry for a long time, and there was no Indian game dev industry a long time ago. And like, you are like basically a veteran.
Yeah, well, I think there's a generation before me that I would call veteran. I'm still getting there, but yeah.
But we'd like the audience to know that where have you came from and what work did you did. So that would also be a.
Yeah, because like 20 years ago, none of us would have any idea that there's a industry called game development. Like we both, I didn't exist 20 years ago.
I did. I was 4 years old.
Okay. So I think I was just starting off in the industry now. So I'll tell you my journey. So my journey really began in the curiosity for getting into the game dev industry for me started in somewhere around 97, 98. Okay, this is 1997, 98. Okay, for the younger viewers out there. And I distinctly remember. So I was very much into tech, right? Computers and internet was like just starting off at that point. We used to have, I don't think you boys have even used it, 56 kbps modems that used to connect through the phone line or something. I don't know if you guys have used it. Exactly. You just go look it up. Right. So, at that time I was fascinated by it. Like my first computer is a joke by today's standard, right? It had 512 MB hard drive, okay, and 16 MB or 32 MB RAM or something like that. Okay, so I'm talking really ancient stuff here.
16 MB, like that's what amount of footage you said. 16 MB, okay.
Yeah, well, khatam. Today is nothing. So tech used to be like a big thing for me, right? And I, I wanted to do tech, but I didn't want to do like the boring tech. And I was like, I don't know what. So hacking was like one of the cool things that I was exploring at that time. And so just like any other 10th standard kid, I was also thinking about what am I going to do, where am I going to go, and all that kind of stuff. And I distinctly remember this show called Movers and Shakers. Okay, it was a talk show. Okay, hosted by this actor called Shekhar Suman. Okay, and he had a guest on show called Vishal Gondal, who was the founder of India Games. Okay, Vishal Gondal came to the show with these Nerf guns and all of that, and that is the first time I came to know that there is a game company. There's a company that makes games in India, and that's where the seed was really planted for me. After that, I did like a lot of classes here and there, computer classes, ye classes, wo classes, to kind of learn. There was no structured course for game development back like 20 years back. So did all that, and then eventually in 2001, 2002 is when I started applying for jobs. Now when I started looking, I could find like 3 companies that were making games. Okay, there was Milestone Interactive, there was India Games, of course, and there was Paradox Studios. Okay, Paradox was part of the Reliance Group. So I used to like my weekend routine was religiously just keep sending them emails. Okay, like give me a job. I used to just spam them. Eventually, one of them kind of some friend ended up working there, and I ended up going there. And there's a whole story of how I got the job, which I'm not going to tell you right now. But that's where it started, right? Now, when I started in the gaming industry, it was fairly new. PC games is still a big dream to be made in India. Okay, but mobile has been a big boon for the Indian gaming industry. As much as audiences and people and devs all look down on mobile gaming, I think it's just a very negative way of looking at it. Because at the end of the day, if you're a designer, you should be able to design for any platform.
Absolutely.
Good fun games exist on all platforms.
Interesting. Yeah.
So when I started, we were working on these Nokia and those Samsung devices, which don't even exist anymore. Okay.
उस पे games भी होती थी?
Yes, we used to make games where the largest file size limit, okay, was 512 KB.
My God.
Okay.
KB. Not even an MB.
No. So 512 KB में पूरा game बनता, and 512 KB on the higher end devices. On the low end devices, so back then the nomenclature was there was the Series 60 devices, then the Series 40 devices, and then the Series 20 devices. So 60 is like top notch. Okay?
RTX 4090.
Flashy, yeah. That was like the RTX 4090. And so Series 60, the file size limit was 512 KB with like a full color gamut of some few thousand colors. Okay. And the Series 20 were like black and white, or like maybe 8 colors that you would have on your graphics. 8 colors. Okay, so I'm not talking about 8 colors that you would have. Usme pura color palette banana hai to. So
This was ancient.
Yes, the ancient. Today's time is 20 years back.
Yeah. The issue is that it's only 20 years back, and now what we've come to here is
Insane.
just in 20 years. That is the reason we came up with the question: what is the biggest thing out of all these years?
Like the whole thing.
I've seen so many changes, right? So I think, but a big turning point was definitely the advent of the smartphone. Okay, like when iPhone hit the market, it pretty much completely changed the entire mobile gaming space from ground. Okay, so the earlier the setup used to be like you would have developers who would make games, right? And then you would have network providers okay, who would buy these games, and then the customer, okay, is either paying like some 20 rupees or 50 rupees for a game, okay. So my customers, so for developers, the customer was all the network providers, so like a Nokia or a Vodafone or someone, or you would have your game as a pre-built game on the device itself. So there, where I would make a game for a particular new device that Nokia is launching, right? So the ecosystem was very different back then. Yeah? You had device manufacturers, you had network providers, you had content creators, and somehow we're all kind of like trying to get a piece of the pie from the customer on this, right? The iPhone came in and completely, like literally changed it overnight. Because when the iPhone launched, they didn't only launch the device, they also launched the entire ecosystem that comes with it. So you now have a device, okay, which has its own dedicated app store. Okay, and that's the only way for you to get new apps. And I think that's like the true genius of Apple that I don't think anybody really realizes, because of that smartphone coming in, we saw an amazing rise in the number of studios that existed. Okay, so before that, the tech was expensive. Okay, because if pre-smartphone era, if I wanted to start a gaming studio, I had to have tie-ups with network providers. I had to have tie-up with the tech providers. I had to have all the devices. I remember the testing team back then. I started in testing, right? So when I started in testing, game testing, I had this one drawer, okay, which had like some 200 different phones in it, okay, and it was my team's job to kind of, whatever game is being made, we have to test it across the board on all these different
Oh my
phones.
God,
Okay?
damn.
So going from that to today, I mean now.
Now even mobile gamers don't consider gamers.
Yeah, well, that's a whole different argument, okay? Which is what I'm trying to say. It's mobile games is a big boon to the Indian gaming industry.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, the smartphone really changed the entire setup. Today we are pretty much back to where it sort of used to be in terms of the ecosystem back then, with Android having so many different devices that it can be on. Launching a game today on an Android device has sort of become a similar-ish problem that it used to be back then. Because Android now has like different screen sizes, different processing capabilities, all that kind of stuff. So you still have to do all that testing. But yeah, it went from a developer, network provider, hardware manufacturer kind of, and tech guys to now just tech, dev, and the app store. So it cut off a lot of middlemen and really allowed for the industry to boom. So what used to be 3 studios back then is now 300 or possibly even more than that today in India. And that I think has been like a biggest change that I've seen over the years.
Wow.
So like you said that they came with their own ecosystem. So when it came with its own ecosystem, did it also like made you change your ways of how you were developing games, or did you have to like change your approach of making games because now it was on a completely different ecosystem? So you had to like, from a technical point of view, do different things that you were doing before?
Yeah, absolutely. Because going from a 512 KB file size limit to there is no limit. I mean, today you look at
Call of Duty. Take notes.
look at Call of Duty, right? It still has the same fan following. It's a 30 GB download every time,
Yeah, the new one was like 200.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, there are some bad habits that have come with the ease of delivery that now exists. Okay, so earlier there was no the concept of live ops or live operations didn't exist. Okay, today it's kind of become like, okay, release a game if there is a problem, if there is a complaint or something, release a patch, and it's fixed or whatever, or not fixed. Okay, there's constant patches coming up every time you start your game.
What's your opinion on day one patches? Like now it's became a norm that if there's a game, there is supposed to be a day one patch coming in the next week of the release. What?
Yeah, what does come in that patch? Like the game is already working enough, so what do they send it in that?
I've seen like 2-3 years I'm looking at games, and there's always this the day one patch or some kind of patch that comes like just 1 week in the release time. So what would you like to like educate the audience about that?
Okay, so as much as I am so I understand the player's perspective on this, and as a player, yes, I think and also sometimes as a developer, I think it's just not that great that there's this, it's the problem is that as things become too easy, people also become too lazy. Okay, and
That is a great, yeah.
I think that's really what's happening. Okay, there used to be a time when getting a game, okay, I mean, we're talking the internet has evolved so much, right? We used to have like 1G and 2Gs, and we are now talking about 5G speeds. Okay, so file size limit is of no point anymore, right?
Terabytes are no longer a big thing.
We used to be charged per KB of data transfer. Now data has become cheaper. So because the ecosystem has evolved and become so accessible so quickly, what has happened is that uh, earlier we didn't have that flexibility. Okay, agar, if the game is bad or if there's something wrong, we can fix it with a patch. We didn't have that luxury. So we had to make sure, everything is right before, because it used to be delivered on CDs, right? Games were burnt onto a CD that you had to go and buy.
Yeah.
So if there was something wrong with it, you'd have to, invoke a massive recall of those CDs. Now it's all digital downloads. So because things have become more accessible, devs are like, okay, fine, we can fix it later. So it's become easier. Now, it's a curse and a boon, right? This whole system is a curse and a boon, because yes, it is supposed to be used as a way to avoid problems, and patch it. But then certain devs don't take it seriously and go like, fuck it, we'll patch it post release or something.
Yeah.
But then again, I can also understand the dev side of things, because releasing something of that scale and that scope is no easy task, and there's bound to be errors, there's bound to be a lot of unknowns, right? Because hardwares keep changing, software keeps changing, OS keeps changing, this changes, that changes, so everything is in a constant state of flux. Okay, a game gets released, there is no way for a dev studio to know that it's going to work across the board the same, right? So you have to put it out there, wait for the feedback, okay, and then patch it as and when required.
Makes sense.
So it's very, very on the fence with these issues. I understand it, but I also know for a fact that a lot of devs take it for granted. So
So do you think there are like few things that devs say that okay, let's just work it later on and let's just deliver it with this? So that's okay. Not trying to put you on spot here, but yeah. So
no, but yeah, it does happen, right? It does happen, and it's no one's fault, because you can't predict. I mean, at the end of the day, the devs are also as human as any one of us, right?
Yeah, but most of the issues come along after the players have explored all the ways of trying to play that game, and when people try so much and find so many things, then we find new errors ki like acha ye bhi hai, oh fit we never tried this, and like us hisab se when the review comes along, and then people start to patch those things up.
Yep. And so this is also another factor, right? I mean, if I look at this from a player perspective, yes, devs can be lazy and devs can take a lot of these new methods of delivery for granted. But on the flip side, if I look at it from a dev side, the point that you bring in is very true. So like in game dev, right? At least in game and in game design, okay, one of the ground realities that you have to work with is that the player is never going to play the game the way you anticipated them to be playing. Okay, yeah, and because it's just ingrained in the nature of being a player, right? We play games because we want to win. Okay, and in the heat of things, in the spirit of gaming, okay, like we were talking about competitive gaming earlier, right? You're gonna push it to whatever limits you can, right?
Just to win it.
Yeah, just to win. You'll break games, you'll exploit bugs, you'll do anything, and that's where the whole thing. So one of the norms that I also keep talking about with students in game design is that never ever anticipate what the player is going to do. Never. Yeah.
The tutorial says go right, we go left.
Yes. The moment you tell the player what to do, they will do exactly the opposite. So never tell the player what to do, just tell the player what to do.
That's gamer for you guys.
And
Oh wow, that's just excellent, bro.
पहले वीडियो पे अगर हम कैंसिल हो गए ना, I swear.
so the norm is players are assholes, okay? You design for that. I mean, one of the most painful things to watch is speedrunners.
I was going to ask you, like,
Yeah,
the
that was
exploits.
bugs and speedrunners. ये एक conversation में आते ही है.
But see, that's exactly the point, right? You see a speedrunner, okay, blast through this amazingly meticulously crafted as a experience, okay?
Like the developers took years to make just for you to finish it in an hour.
Yeah.
I've seen them go like in 2 seconds to another completely different map.
That's insane. Like my brother is a speedrunner. And like it hurts me to watch him play कि भाई क्यों वो चीज तो enjoy कर.
I know. So it's one of those things, right? It's like, it's like going to a 5-star restaurant and ordering the most amazing piece of slow roasted, something just to gulp it down in one bite, and you're like, wow, you don't deserve good stuff.
Yeah.
The gaming is fine dining.
Gaming is fine dining. It's supposed to be enjoyed. It's supposed to be, because that's what design is, right? The level designers will spend countless hours meticulously crafting an entire experience. So you're not only
and I'm
watching a story, you're experiencing a story, and you just blast through it like no.
Skip the cutscene.
Yeah, and all that. It's just painful to watch, So it's all of this, all these techniques, all the technology is constantly going to be a balancing act between what the devs need to do, what the players need to do, and just getting everyone on the same page. It's a task in itself.
Yeah.
Like you say that balancing what players are doing and what devs need to do. We have another question that brings us.
That brings us to the next question.
Next question is like, what would you want the gaming community to keep doing, and what would you want the community to stop doing? Like, please, we are humans, stop this, and we are the creators and keep doing this for the community. So we like these two things from a game dev.
From a game dev
So
perspective.
what I would want players to continue doing and what I would want them to stop doing. Okay, I think as a community, the toxicity. Okay, not all games are competitive. Okay, I think one thing that I would really want players to do is really broaden their horizons in terms of how much they are open to different kind of games. Okay, there are some amazing games that are out there, and just like any other industry, right? You look at films or games or comics or something, right? You're gonna have your large AAA titles, and there are also these indie titles which are just fantastic. Okay, so broaden your horizons in terms of the kind of content that you play. Okay, know that it's just it's just a game at the end of the day. Okay, we love it. I love it to the point that I've decided to make a career in it. Okay, but at the same time, I keep it, keep as a player. I'm very forgiving. Okay.
That's rich coming from a League of Legends player.
Hey, listen, I'm in bronze, okay? So that's what I say. I play League because I enjoy it, not because of the competitive side of things.
Right. But the thing you said is that it's just a game and we all are loving it and fucking it. Like, we want to make a career. That's why we all are here, basically, even the viewers, just to make a career out of it. Yeah.
Are there any viewers? Is my question.
As a player, I think as a player, be a player. Okay, there are so many facets to gaming, right? And the industry has exploded and given birth to newer industries around it. Like the very concept of esports. Okay, at the core of it is a game. Okay, but the entire ecosystem of esports around that game is a whole new vertical in itself. You know, it's like saying cricket can be played for fun as well. Okay, we grew up playing cricket for fun, but does that mean that, you know, like when you're playing international cricket, try and have fun just like you were, you know, having fun back in the day?
Yeah, it won't be possible.
Yeah, so that's the real thing, that, you know, players need to, one, have a broader mindset. So there are different kind of games for different kind of players, right? And I would say esports is one thing. Then you have games like, say, It Takes Two or Helldivers, which are more cooperative game. You know, come together, play for the fun of it. You have casual games, you have mobile games, you have so broaden your horizon. Okay, I find it really difficult when I, you know, talk to first year students and I say, okay, how many gamers in the house? Technically, at today's time, everyone's a gamer.
Absolutely.
Okay, even my mom is a gamer, right? But they don't raise their hand because there is this mindset which says that, oh, a Candy Crush is not a game. Dude, Candy Crush is very much a game. And it's just as much fun. I play a Candy Crush, I'll play Helldivers, I'll play League, I'll play Warcraft, I'll play anything and everything under the sun.
Yep. I heard a quote about the same thing once. It was like, it doesn't matter what you play, it does not matter how you play, it does not matter on which device you play, but you play because you are a gamer.
Exactly. That's it. So having that mindset, that broader mindset that everyone's a gamer, I think, and you yourself exploring more games is something that I would want the community to do more of. What I would like them to stop doing.
Yeah, this is the more spicy.
Yeah.
So the more spice that
The spicy one. Again, historically speaking,
okay.
games.
So this is coming from experience.
This is definitely coming from experience. Okay, so I'll tell you what, games, okay, used to be a place where a lot of shy kids, a lot of introverts used to find a refuge in games, right? If you look at the documentary of gamers in the early, I think it's on Netflix. What society at large is now trying to do is be more inclusive in everything. The gaming community, when it started off, was beautifully inclusive. Okay, we had a lot of I'm talking like 90s 80s era time. Okay, I'm talking
Arcades
and stuff like that. Is you would find yeah, you know, queer, gay people, everyone. There was no sort of, you know, discrimination going on within the community, because the world at large would discriminate against gamers. Okay, so this kind of became, the arcades kind of became like a hotspot for all the people who really didn't fit in anywhere to kind of fit in amongst themselves.
Yeah.
So are the left outs.
It was beautiful, and the community was very accepting. Okay, there was no, and you know, everything evolves, everything changes, and you know, as times go by, now we've become like, and you know, esports coming in, all of those kind of things, right? Genres became a thing and all. So now it's become like a genre thing, it's become a device thing and all. So again, I would say community needs to be just, you know, open-minded in the sense of, don't disregard someone because of a certain game they play, or a certain kind of affinity or a opinion of a game. At the end of the day, it's just a game, you know.
You are basically asking to stop bullying league players.
I don't think that's ever gonna happen. League players bully each other.
Yeah, they
okay?
bully each other. They don't care about what's going outside their community.
Yeah. But do it in the game, you know. So that's the thing. Like if you want to really, like, you know, hash it out in a game, and then, you know, after the game is done, put down your controllers, go out, have a beer together. That's really what the whole point is.
This is basically a cry for help for like the league community. Please buy. I just want to play in silence.
I don't think I would say that. I think league guys don't even care at this point. Okay, I think
Yeah, I think it's like that. It's my home now. Even it's loud. It's dysfunctional, but it's my home.
It's like we've accepted it. We're gonna be part of this thing, and eventually everyone's going to turn into that. Like league players will say this community is toxic. That player base will call this community toxic. Everyone calls each other toxic. So stop being toxic. Just stop.
The one community which we have talked about before is no toxic players.
Yeah.
Is of course
Helldivers. That is why I was amazed by. For me, that game is a design genius purely because of how the joke is so well woven into the gameplay, right? That it is impossible to be toxic in that game.
Yeah.
Even toxic behavior is taken lightly. So it starts off with everybody knowing that, we're basically just pointlessly fighting a war. Okay. And hence the idea was to not take war seriously. The idea is to not take anything seriously, and that kind of that world building, that narrative kind of flowed into the community, where the community also played it in the same way. So if you look at that opening cinematic of Helldivers, right? It's made in a very recruiting for the army kind of a way. Okay. And that's the joke. So these are not soldiers. They're basically brawlers, okay, who are just being given big guns, and they were like, yeah, this chest bumping and this fist bumping and all of that kind of stuff.
Right.
It's a bar fight. It's not an army. Okay. So the game does that so subtly and so beautifully. The world building is so well thought out, and then the community kind of became that and followed the narrative and played like that. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. I love it. There's no toxicity.
The players became the part of the lore now.
Yeah, they
Players
joined the
became
joke.
part of the lore. Yeah, the world, the immersiveness, the way the game pulls you in,
Yeah.
and lets you be what you're supposed to be, is amazing. Like I've had players, okay, who have shot me by mistake, okay, and they call me back in, okay, and then they'll say sorry,
Yeah.
and they'll even call in a backpack or a secondary gun for me. Like this kind of stuff doesn't happen in other games.
This is unreal. Like the amount of time I've been gaming for 5 years now, and I have never seen anything like that in any video game.
It's just amazing, and the gameplay is also PvE. It's not PvP.
Yeah.
So those little design decisions here there is what really fascinates me and amazes me about how well Helldivers have done the job of creating a fun experience.
Well, it did get the best ongoing game award.
Yes.
Which I was little skeptical about. Like it just came this year. How is it getting the best ongoing game award?
Yeah, Fortnite is sorted.
There was Fortnite, and there was also I think it should have gone to maybe No Man's Sky.
It is ongoing for a lot of time. Like what time se chal raha hai?
Exactly, and there's still
They are still. It's the world's biggest map ever created, and it's still expanding.
Yeah, but I don't know. I've never played No Man's Sky, but are there many players in there?
Yeah.
Yep. Still
Is the concurrent player still high?
Yeah. It's like
They keep coming with as soon as there's a new update, players jump back in.
Yeah.
See, that's a big issue with games in general, and I'm happy and sad about it at the same time. So I have very mixed feelings about ongoing games. Okay.
Okay.
The very idea of ongoing games, I feel, is largely detrimental to the industry. But this is a very personal opinion. I think it becomes very detrimental to the industry at large, because if everyone's just going to keep playing 2 or 3 games, okay, it doesn't really leave the space for others to come in, right? And I'm not a big fan of that idea. Like I don't want to live in a future where there's like just 5-6 games that everyone's playing and that's about it. Where are the newer things coming from? And everything becomes part of that one game. That's something I'm a little skeptical about.
Right. Okay, let's go to the next question, I feel. Yeah, this conversation can keep expanding with every game we come up.
Yeah.
Okay, so the one question which is it really important for the upcoming Indian game devs is like, what would you want to tell their parents about the gaming industry? Because not everyone's parents is skeptical about कि gaming करेगा पढ़ाई कर लो इससे अच्छा, and like it's not that open-minded yet, and industry is still growing. So what's one thing you would like to tell to their parents, upcoming game devs parents?
So I'll tell you what. Yes, it is a very competitive space. Okay, I'm not gonna lie about it, but it is. So first thing I would say, parents. I think a lot of gamers are now parents, so that mindset has sort of become a lot more sorted now. Okay, I was one of the lucky few where my parents were like, "Okay, you want to do this, go do this." They didn't really, yeah. And also, I got lucky in terms of finding the right people at the right time.
I mean, it was more like weekend ritual of sending resumes to the.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course I put in the hours, of course I put in the effort, right? But I assume that, anyone who's interested or passionate about anything that they want to do, they're going to put in the same amount of effort. So even if you want to be like a, I don't know, CA or something, which compared to gaming, and I'm not saying that it is, but compared to gaming, a CA would feel boring.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
But even then, no, but even then,
तेरे
right?
taxes file नहीं होने वाले सही से बाबू.
Look, I still go to a CA to file my taxes. Okay.
मेरे मामा से ही.
Oh, फिर ठीक है.
तो फिर भी उन्होंने पढ़ाई तो करी है ना.
हाँ.
So you would just be as passionate. But I think what parents need to understand is that just like any other creative field, this is a creative endeavor. Okay. The advantage that you have over here now is the tech. Okay. The gaming technology has come such a long way that it is now in a position where it powers other industries as well. So like today, when you're making like a film, like say Mowgli or Gollum or anything, right? You are using Unreal Engine to kind of do the background things. Okay, like I don't know if I think most people at this point really know, but Mandalorian, the series, okay, all the BGs and everything, all the worlds, different planets, it's all virtual environments running inside of a game engine. Okay, so you got a virtual camera inside the game world synced with the physical camera that the person's moving. So game tech is actually being used to make films as well, right? So
Might as well call it the real engine.
it
Nice one. Nice one.
Unreal guys, I hope you are listening.
Yes, you can get marketing tips from India.
So it's come a long way. So I would say if you get into game design, right, there are so many different avenues that have now opened up because once you understand this bit, then you can you can leverage your skill set from one industry to other with a lot of flexibility and a lot of ease. That really takes away a lot of stress of how big a career can you have or how easy it is to survive in the industry. Okay, at the end of the day, it will still boil down to how good the person is at the job. Okay, so that risk is still going to be there, but I would say gaming and game development is the new sort of
New hotcake.
new hotcake. What used to be software developers back 20 years back is what gaming is now. I mean, today, even if you look at a lot of the apps that you see, like say Duolingo or something like that, it borrows a lot of principles from game development, from game design. Also, there's this whole new wing of gaming, which even students don't really get into and have to really push them into thinking about it, is serious games. So there are games which are made not for the purpose of entertainment, but they're made for education,
Yeah.
right? And that is a whole new avenue that can be explored. Okay.
Yeah, even for corporate training, there are few games.
Yeah, exactly.
So basically, gaming is not only a industry in gaming; it's helping out many other industries as well.
So you can, and basically it's the limit is literally your creativity of how you can bring. So think about it. Think about gaming as the key differentiator that separates game design and game development from all other forms of entertainment is interactivity. Okay, a comic book is a passive way of experiencing a story. A film is a passive way of experiencing a story. A game is a very active way of having your own experience in terms of what the story is. And that interactivity can be extended into other mediums as well, right? So education, I mean, I can get a child to ratify two ka table and three ka table and everything, or I could get the child to sit down and write down 2 multiplied by 3 and do the math mentally, or I could give them a app which says, okay, you have 2 apples, and now you have like 3 more baskets of two apples. How many apples do you have?
So that is more interesting.
It this is how game design goes into different things. So it really has so much versatility that no matter what, you might end up in the game dev industry, you might not. Okay, but what you learn over here will add a whole new perspective to anything you do after this.
Right.
Right, so you can learn game development, and then you go and say, okay, I'm going to go do a MBA in finance. Okay,
Okay.
you will somehow see things differently. You will somehow see, okay, oh, okay, this bit I can gamify. If tomorrow you have to start explaining certain concepts, because it's explaining, it's creating the world and convincing the player to say this world is real. Okay, and that skill of being able to convince someone that what you're seeing is great and fun and believable can be leveraged into other areas as well.
Absolutely.
Okay, right.
So I would say, yeah, by in itself, there are so many different ways to apply what you learn in game development, but there's also allied fields, and if you're smart enough, you can leverage it and take it to other areas as well.
Absolutely.
Okay, just look into the camera and tell the parents that it is a good industry.
It is a good industry. It is very much real. It is filled with real people who do real work, who have real jobs. Okay, and yes, it's a very legitimate field.
Yeah, no way Jaydev sir is a hologram that we've kept here who this is not pre-recorded, this is not CGI, this is a real person.
Real
sitting
person.
Yes, and I'm not. There's no form of self promotion as well. Okay, it's a.
I mean, you can plug.
No, but it's not. I mean, I wouldn't do something if I don't believe in
here.
it.
Fair
you know?
enough, fair enough.
So it's just as simple as that. It's a very real industry, just like any other industry.
Yes.
Coming to the real industry, the real question that every gamer has been asking is Unreal 5, Unreal Engine 5. We've seen a very big boom in the whole Unreal Engine because I've had friends and I've had like people who did not know anything about game engines. They were just casual gamers, and out of nowhere, everybody's talking about
Unreal Engine
5,
5.
Unreal Engine. It's like the best game engine. Nobody knows
The
what
hype
game
about
engine,
it, yeah.
Nobody knows what game engine actually does, but everybody is just hyped about the Unreal 5. So why do you think like that is happening? Like even if the people who are not even educated about what game engines are in general are now talking about Unreal Engine 5. Like what did it do so well that it got the every gamer, like every casual gamer and everybody talking about it? What do you think is like?
So, okay. First of all, what does a game engine do? A game engine is basically a place where you bring everything together to kind of build on the and create that interactive world, right? So coming back to what your question is, like, what is it that Unreal Engine is doing that everybody knows about it?
Like no one even knew Unreal Engine, like the casual gamers up till 4.
Okay, but
So I think Unreal Engine 5, the one thing they do wonderfully, okay, is they make it so believable that anyone can make a game. Okay. Yes and no, anyone can make a game, I would say, okay, but at the same time, there is still a lot of work involved.
This is your sign to make again.
Yes, but go ahead and you'll know the pains about what go.
Come back to
So I think Unreal, what they do is they make it seem very easy to get the visual fidelity of some amazing games right out of the box. Okay. So it makes something that you imagine as an unattainable fruit look like easy to grab. Okay. With the demos that they release, right? You look at
The
you look at
Matrix one.
the Matrix one, or the Jeep one that they released, right? Where you can see layers of the paint, okay, and the camera and the dynamics of the wheel and the way you just move this branch here and the river automatically figures a way out and the world shifts and changes perfectly, and then you just press play. Okay. Yes, it is that simple. If you wired it up, if you have designed it, if you've constructed it from scratch with that thing in mind, okay, and that. So I think Unreal makes it seem very simple, and hence I think a lot of people are taking interest in that. Also, one thing that Unreal Engine in general actually does better is visual quality. Okay, the sheer volume or the sheer beauty of the environment and art assets and everything that you get in Unreal out of the box. Like, you just install Unreal and you can pretty much have like a cathedral kind of thing up and running in like maybe 2 hours.
But the system requirement for Unreal Engine
That
5 is
is
also
a-
unreal.
that is the other Unreal part that nobody really talks about. Is I'm gonna need like
Two RTX 4090s to make it work ekdam fluently.
yeah, it's insane. The system requirements are insane, which they don't talk about. Also, Unreal does like UEFN and all this kind of thing. So they kind of have like a full ecosystem approach to it. Like, you can make a game in Unreal, and then you can make a Unreal UEFN. I don't know if you guys know about it, but Unreal for Fortnite. So you can make a game inside Fortnite, okay, using Unreal Engine. So the accessibility, the lure of you can have your game being shown to Fortnite players, so all of those things.
Fortnite mentioned.
I think all of those things combined together.
It cannot be a gaming related podcast without not mentioning
Fortnite.
Fortnite
is
is
a big shark now.
Fortnite is just a sandbox where you can do anything and everything. Like, mera whole page, whoever has watched the content knows that everything and everyone is from Fortnite.
From Fortnite. Yeah.
But then again, like, going back to something that I mentioned earlier, I have very skeptical views about one game becoming everything. Okay. So, if all games are playable inside of Fortnite, I'm not so sure I want to live in a world like that.
Tell me one thing that Fortnite can't do.
Yeah, I love it. I love how they've done it, but at the same time, I'm scared. And I'm like,
Do you think it can maybe reach that level of Ready Player One kind of a world where there
It can. I
can
actually
be
feel
used
that.
into metaverse, and maybe Mark Zuckerberg and
Everyone is who's not in this game. The Rock, Tom Holland, Tom Hardy.
Doomslayer. I don't want Doomslayer to be in Fortnite.
I don't want Kratos to be in Fortnite.
I don't want everything to be in Fortnite. Fortnite was, plus one thing, I hated Fortnite, okay, when it launched, because the two mechanics that were, the building and shooting are two completely different things. And
We
I
lost the
personally-
kids.
I personally did not enjoy that, okay.
I couldn't play it because I was not better than the kids, so I just left it how it was.
Yeah, I left it because I couldn't build. And one of the funniest thing I found in that game is like you shoot, you miss Taj Mahal. Like, what? How?
Yeah, we lost the Fortnite player base here.
Yeah, we know. Sorry.
They've done a lot of fantastic things. Like Unreal as an engine is the visual quality, the amazing lighting, and all of that Unreal gives is just unbelievable. Okay, it's film grade quality when it comes to visual fidelity, but the hardware requirement for it, or the flexibility of being able to just open up the engine and go through like at the very core, that part is kind of not
For the
there.
beginner.
Yeah,
So what would you like? We have a lot of like aspiring indie artists and game developers who want to make a game and who want to start. So what would you say is the most beginner friendly engine? Like we have Godot and we have Game Maker. So what would you say is the most beginner friendly that you can recommend?
So again, beginner friendly, I will still say Unreal, because Unreal so here's how it goes. You install Unreal, okay, and any aspiring game dev will have been inspired by, say, whatever game they've been playing, which will be like a God of War or a COD or something. So it's either a first person game or a third person game or something. You install Unreal, it's got a template for a third person game. It's got a template for a first person game. Okay, where you don't have to build the first person controller from scratch. Okay.
Yep. That's where Unity loses.
Yeah. So Unity tries to templatize that now, but no. So if you want to, like, as a hobbyist, you want to see if game dev or all of that is for you, I would say install Unreal. Okay. Try out these templates. Do play around a little bit, because there's no coding involved at this point. Nothing. Okay. If you had to build this from scratch, you would have to like write code where camera movement के लिए code लिखो, turning के लिए code लिखो, left right के लिए code लिखो, all of that, right? And so, which is my problem, right? At a professional level, I don't think templatization should be a norm. Right. So any engine that gives you templates is a easy way to go, okay? But you don't get into the behind the hood. It's like saying, hey, I want to be a race car driver. Which is the best car to buy? Go buy a Ferrari. Yes, of course you're gonna win races right off the bat. You'll learn how to be a good.
But the guy who came up from Honda Civic will be more better at playing Ferrari.
Fair enough.
Yes. So if you're someone who wants to make give me any car and I'll be able to race with it. You want to be that kind of person? Then I would say pick up something which is maybe takes a while. It has a steeper learning curve, but it'll really help you understand the principles of how and why and everything is the way it is. So instant gratification, Unreal 5, you'll feel very good about yourself.
Unreal 5 का system requirements के लिए क्या करना है बड़ी?
Go buy that. I don't know. So instant gratification, Unreal 5. Okay. But if you really are serious about this and really want to get into it, then I would say Unity has a better long-term use case. At least in my case, I find so Unity as an engine isn't that heavy, right? And it's made for versatility. So if I want to make a 2D game, I'm not gonna think Unreal Engine. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna definitely think Unity. Okay. If I want to make a mobile game, I'm not gonna think Unreal. I'm gonna think Unity, right? Yes, eventually mobile phones are going to be powerful enough to be like, PCs in themselves. And that time maybe Unreal has a higher upper hand on it. Yeah. But yeah, long-term, steeper learning curve, Unity. Instant gratification, short-term, Unreal 5. You'll definitely feel great about yourself, okay?
Okay, enough with the boring questions. Let's get to...
We do have one really big question that we want to ask about game dev, but let's change the pace a little.
Let's change the pace. So we'll do some rapid fires.
Yeah.
Rapid fires, this or that.
Okay. You don't put me in a spot where I create trouble for myself, okay?
We'll get no. Okay. Yeah. Get ready.
Alright. I'm all set.
PlayStation or Xbox?
PlayStation.
Story driven or multiplayer?
Story driven.
EA or Ubisoft?
Ubisoft. Definitely Ubisoft.
Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter?
Can I invent my own Tekken?
I told you we should put Tekken instead of Street Fighter.
But if I had to choose between the two, Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Perfect. Unreal or Unity?
Unity, hands down. For
we
me,
just
Yes,
accepted.
yeah.
Yeah. So Unity.
Windows or Mac?
Windows,
Of course.
Mac.
PC or console?
PC,
PC. Master Race.
Master Race.
Okay, this one.
This one is a feud between him and I,
Okay.
Yeah. And this will continue with all the other episodes until we get a winner.
and we're keeping a score here. I already know the answer, but just for the proof, we're recording it. Go on.
Kratos or Doomslayer?
Doomslayer, hands down. He's the Doomslayer. Okay.
He is him. He is him.
Okay, exactly.
Who do you think will win in a fight?
Doomslayer.
Slayer.
No way.
So technically thinking, okay, here's the difference between Kratos and Doomslayer, okay? They're both out to slay gods and demons, okay?
Yeah.
But Kratos slays gods and then becomes a god himself. So hence, Doomslayer can now slay Kratos. He has no aspirations of becoming a god.
And I'll tell you one thing. Whoever Doomslayer defeats, he takes on that creature's or that person's power. And he has been slaying demons and icon of Sil.
So does Kratos, huh? So does Kratos. Every god he kills, he takes his power.
Yeah, he takes his equipment, if I am not wrong. But
Also the
Doomslayer, in essence, he defeats something and he takes that power and he builds up on it. Secondly, he has been fighting demons for eons.
So is Kratos.
He's not doing it for eons.
Yeah, at the end of the day, he's still a mortal. Well, this guy's also a mortal who became a... Yeah.
Okay, how many gods did Kratos slay?
The whole Greek pantheon.
Exactly, because there were a lot of gods to slay. In Doomslayer universe, he defeats the creator who created everything.
So does
Kratos did not defeat the primordials.
he defeated the Greek god of
Kratos.
everything.
Greek gods are just, overrated.
I mean, they were also already fighting amongst themselves, I mean, to be very honest. But yeah, so Doomslayer gets the point here.
Yeah, definitely Doomslayer.
Definitely Doomslayer.
Plus, he's got a gun. Okay.
He has his hand with, he uses the guns for fun.
For fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, moving on.
Sorry, dude. Do let me know in the comment, Kratos or Doomslayer.
I know there are a lot of Kratos fans. Nobody's played a lot of Doom games and they've not read the lore.
I have read the lore and I know Kratos can win.
I don't give two shit about the lore. Doomslayer for the win. Period.
Does Kratos have a badass metal playlist going on in the background?
Okay. Yeah, I'll give you that. The music of Doomslayer is ekdam.
You're not supposed to give in so easily. Come on. You're supposed to be like...
No, I'm just giving it about the music.
We'll continue in the next episode. Let's see. I
Don't give in. I'm sure there are like Kratos fans out there.
There are a lot of Kratos
Yeah.
fans. They defeated
Kratos
Goku
for
for some
life.
reason. They defeated Doomslayer with Goku.
Yeah, if you are wondering what if you are wondering what we are talking about, it's on a page called a series called Worlds Collide, where we make people fight, like make the strongest warriors in fiction fight each other, and whoever gets the most votes wins.
I'm very
You
sad
win
that Superman lost. That was very bad.
I guess the audience at large needs to evolve.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, okay, theek hai, Superman lost. No hard feelings, but I cried that night. But okay. Moving on. This was one section, and another section is the.
Okay, well, name some of the biggest fiction gaming characters, the most iconic one. You have to let us know which Bollywood actor would suit that character if a film was made on that.
Okay, I'll give this a try.
Yep. So the first and the best, Kratos.
He is being so salty right now. My God,
Dude.
Okay, who I believe would be the best Kratos?
Actor for Kratos
From Bollywood.
Yeah, we're all fans of Bollywood here.
Can I extend it to like
Multiple. Yeah, absolutely.
the film slash TV slash industry in India?
Yeah, sure.
So I would say like a Raghu from Roadies. He would be like a good Kratos. Okay?
Yeah.
But
I
he'll
would
have to
agree.
bulk up a
He'll
lot.
have to bulk up a lot.
I think Sanjay Dutt.
I don't want to see that man bald.
Okay, so we have Raghu.
What do you think, Kratos for a Bollywood actor?
Actually, Sanjay, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, Sanjay Dutt is not a bad idea. I think I'll agree with you on that one because you know Kratos better than I do, and I'll give you that. So let's go. Dastan, Prince of Persia.
Prince of Persia, Dastan. The main guy,
main
right?
guy,
The
yeah.
player. I don't know. Tiger Shroff.
Tiger Shroff.
Interesting.
Tiger Shroff or what's that other? Vidyut Jamwal. He could.
Vidyut Jamwal would do-
He would do.
He would
very
look
well.
very well as a prince.
I mean, he's got that same vibe,
and
you know, he's
that
got that
hair.
whole Parker
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
thing that
yeah,
he does in films. So I think Vidyut Jamwal would be a better choice.
Yeah. Trevor Phillips from GTA.
Trevor Phillips. I am not well versed with Trevor Phillips.
I think Jaydev sir would do.
Good
Trevor.
Trevor.
Because
Yeah, you look like
you're
him.
looking like Trevor Phillips right now.
Okay, I hope he's a fun guy.
Yeah, absolutely. You've not played GTA.
I'm not. I didn't have time to play GTA 5.
He's a psychotic person. He's a sociopath.
He's a sociopath.
Okay, I'm not liking him so far, but yeah.
but the look matches absolutely. Okay, I would say.
I'll show you the character.
Yeah, you
I keep getting confused between because I never got to playing GTA 5 because I was like, oh dude, if I want to really enjoy this, it's going to take up a lot of time, and I don't have that kind
6
of time.
is coming up.
Yeah. Oh, that's going to be amazing.
Yeah, okay, so you have to play 5 before the 6 comes out.
Yeah, I'm not gonna play either of them purely because of the time commitment both these games require.
Yeah, fair enough.
I don't have that kind of time
But will you be
anymore.
playing the Dark Ages?
Of course. See, those games I will play. Give me a game which I can like finish from start to end. Oh, okay. I can see that. Yeah, I could be that guy.
Who would you give CJ? CJ from San Andreas.
San Andreas. But I don't think anyone can play CJ. Okay, because the black vibe that he needs to have, I don't think Bollywood guys have it.
We can have like the hip hop culture from our Indian. We have MC Stan. We have MC Stan.
Maybe, I don't know. I think hip hop culture in India is very different from outside. So I would want them to evolve in their own unique ways, you know.
Lara Croft.
Ooh, Lara Croft. I would say Deepika Padukone.
You also said Deepika Padukone.
I think she comes really close to that vibe. Yeah. Okay. She's got that athleticism about her.
Nathan Drake.
Nathan Drake. Nathan Drake isn't like a proper muscular guy, right?
He's very lean. He's like him.
Nathan Drake.
I cosplayed as him at Comic Con Mumbai.
Oh yeah, so you could do that, but
We're talking about actors, right?
which actor can Nathan Drake? I don't know who's like fit but not really fit in Bollywood.
Ranveer Singh.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ranveer Singh could be a good Nathan Drake, but I think he'll need to do something with his face.
Yeah. I think Ranveer Singh will do a very good Dante. Yeah. With that energy.
I think Nathan Drake needs a more squarish face.
I think Tiger Shroff can do.
Tiger Shroff would be.
He's a very athletic person.
Yeah. So Tiger Shroff or Vidyut Jamwal again.
Who was that actor? Ayushmann Khurrana.
Ayushmann Khurrana. Oh, Ayushmann Khurrana can do
Khurrana
a good
is very
job.
good option.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's actually better.
Yeah.
Because he's not that six-pack guy, but still athletic enough. Yeah.
We have Arthur Morgan.
Arthur Morgan from
Red Dead Redemption 2.
again something that I've not played.
Oh my god. You should don't play GTA 5, don't play GTA 6, play Red Dead Redemption.
See, I can't play Rockstar games because they're just too large. Okay, there's just so much to do in Rockstar games that I don't end up playing them purely because I know I'm not going to do justice to that game because I don't have too much time.
Oh,
So coming from a League player?
Look, League, I play one game and I go to sleep. Okay, that's
that is the reason you're not going up from bronze.
it.
Okay, so let's keep Arthur Morgan away.
Jill Valentine.
Jill Valentine is from
Resident Evil 3.
Resident Evil. Anushka Sharma would be a good
She's
Jill
the
Valentine.
major crush amongst gamers, Jill Valentine.
I don't.
I don't. Yeah, I
I've
don't
never
think
seen,
so.
I've seen people crush a lot over
Lara
Chun-Li
Croft.
and Lara Croft.
Yeah, Chun-Li, Lara Croft are like, what we used to have big crush on. Kitana and Melina till they made Kitana have that weird face. It's like, oh God, ruined my
I mean, some
childhood.
people are still into that. So
Ruined my
whatever.
childhood, man.
But we have still like major actors who've left out. So we'll ask the actor names now.
Huh.
Who
do you think these actors can
Play as. Okay.
Yeah.
We have Amitabh Bachchan.
Amitabh Bachchan would be. I'm gonna say Warcraft mein Arthas, but after he's sat down on the frozen throne.
Okay.
Okay,
something
this
like
one this one you both love.
Doomslayer.
उसका actor अगर would fit in.
I would say Salman Khan.
Salman Khan as Doomslayer.
Yes. Because he brings that aura ki he is him. He does not look like him, but he has that body.
But he's not that angry. And plus, Doomslayer is not supposed to have a face. And
Yeah.
Nobody's seen his face. I mean, now we have.
Now we have, but
But yeah, for the longest time,
nobody knew what
Nobody
he
knew.
looked like.
And so
He doesn't even have a name. We didn't know his name. We didn't even know he could talk. He just said one dialogue this whole entire series.
Yeah, which was in that training wala montage that they show, right?
Just the
rip, shred.
that
Rip and tear, rip and tear.
and just no.
Yeah,
That's
no is the only word.
No.
Yeah, I don't think Salman Khan has that angry face.
I don't think anybody is angry enough to play Doom.
Yeah, I don't think anyone matches that face, that vibe.
Just another detail, he's created in the image of God himself because they wanted him to be that.
You need too much hatred for the world in general to be able to play Doomslayer.
Yeah, see, if they're fearing you in hell and if they've made like a Bible saying that this guy is the Antichrist, please stay away from him. That kind of aura, I don't think anybody's bringing to the table.
Yeah, I don't think even Hollywood has anyone good enough to play Doomslayer. That's why the Doom movie was so bad.
Yeah, Doom devs, hi.
Doom 3 and Doom movie, they were both terrible.
Very bad. Doom 3 was, oh my god. Actually, Doom 3 was my first Doom game.
Yeah.
Oh, you should have quit there.
No, it really opens you up.
Yeah, because then I thought, okay, it's a decent enough game, and then I went on, played the other games, and was like, oh my god, this is trash.
So there's a lot of reboots that Doom has gone through. And I think Doom 3 needed to be rebooted.
Yeah.
Thanks to the community on that one.
Okay, Ajay Devgan. We did.
Maybe Last of Us.
As Joel.
Yeah.
Joel, Last of Us. I think he would do a very good job.
Yeah.
And Ellie would be Alia Bhatt.
Very good.
Yeah, actually, not a bad choice. Yeah,
Alia's a
Alia's
good
got that, vibe.
What about Akshay Kumar?
Oh, Akshay Kumar, dude, that guy is made for games. You can put him in a lot of games.
You can make him an NPC.
Yeah,
I mean, no, making him an NPC who is like giving you constantly doing some stuff. Yeah, he's like going there. We have a lot of crazy NPCs as well.
I would say, I think Akshay Kumar would also be a good choice for Nathan Drake. But maybe younger days, Akshay Kumar.
Yeah.
Akshay Kumar can be Sully from Uncharted.
Sully, I would give to Anil Kapoor.
Anil Kapoor.
Maybe.
Parish Rawal.
Parish Rawal?
No.
Sully is not that old, bhai.
No. I think younger Akshay Kumar, Nathan Drake is a very safe choice to go with.
Okay, who would you cast Mario as?
Mario, Ranveer Singh. He's the only guy who can pull off costumes.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
I was thinking Rajpal Yadav.
Just because of the hype.
He could be Luigi,
Yeah.
But Ranveer Singh, like he can actually pull off the whole Mario outfit. I don't think anyone else in Bollywood right now has the guts to make a fool of himself like he does.
Fair enough. Yeah. We have last actor who is SRK.
SRK.
The GOAT.
Well, he did do a game, which is Ravan.
Cast him as Ravan.
It was more of a movie than the game because the game didn't do really well.
Actually, both Akshay Kumar and SRK would be perfect for like characters in Cyberpunk.
Interesting, yes.
I think they have that tech thing going for them. They've tried it, I think they would make very good characters in the cyberpunk universe.
Okay, yeah. And do you know how like Hollywood actors are there in Fortnite? Would you think the first Bollywood actor would join Fortnite? Like famous.
I would say SRK would join. The first one would be SRK.
Yeah, I would say SRK. Even Ranveer Singh, I think he's got the
I think
possibility.
he'll be approaching them. Ki, please put me in
Yeah.
Fortnite.
I mean, the dude will probably come with his own set of dances, you know?
Emotes.
His own set of emotes that he does in general.
Yeah, Shahrukh Khan का iconic emote हो सकते हैं game में.
Yeah.
Well, actually, you know, that's not a bad idea, you know, Shah Rukh's iconic
So we're
pose.
back to Fortnite again. Then. Everything is in Fortnite. Then.
But everything that is pop culture has to be eventually be in Fortnite.
We promise someday this podcast will be run on Fortnite. This is our promise to you guys. We do that.
It will come. Like concerts happen in Fortnite, Game Awards happen in Fortnite. What nothing happens in Fortnite.
Again, Fortnite, if it's in pop culture, it will be in Fortnite. Period.
So,
I'm not very happy about it, but theek hai. It's just fantastic. You know, kudos to them.
and there are kids who just grew up playing Fortnite, and then they ask, I tell them कि Kratos है, कहाँ से बोलते Fortnite. I'm like, what?
Exactly. See, that's the downside of everything it being in Fortnite.
Yeah, everyone is the guy from Fortnite.
हाँ, if everything is from Fortnite, तो फिर बाकी सब क्या हम क्या बेवकूफ है क्या यहाँ पे?
Well, let's move back to more game dev.
Yeah, that was the fun questions.
Fun questions that we had, like to get the real views because इनके अब reel कटेंगे.
हाँ, वो तो short term attention वालों
हाँ,
पे.
उनके लिए we need for them as well.
No, we also have one fun question left.
Yes.
If you are stuck in your favorite video game and you could have been a character, but that character was not from that game, what character would you be?
So
Game world is different, but you have to choose a different character.
okay.
So like you are stuck in Warcraft.
If I'm stuck in Warcraft, but I can be someone else.
Yeah. No one from Warcraft can be chosen.
Got it. Okay. So I have to do a mashup. Well, you know, I can make it very easy for myself. I could be Doomslayer in Animal Crossing. Well, I could be Doomslayer in any
Anything,
game, you know,
anything,
and
yeah.
I just destroy it. I could be Doomslayer in Fortnite and I just go around ripping and
Well, Doomslayer is in Fortnite.
he is in Fortnite. Ah,
Unfortunately, he's in Fortnite. And all 4 or 5 suits they've put
I'm
all
not,
of them.
I'm not happy about that. No, okay. So, well, Fortnite is basically going to have everything. So that's not a valid thing. Okay, who would I want to be in which game? Just for the fun of it, I would want to be Master Chief in Helldivers.
Oh, yeah.
That would be fun.
Yeah,
Yes.
that will be fun.
Is bring in a little brain and a little more emotion into this, parody world. Okay, I think that would be fun.
Yeah, that's
okay. Also, I could do like a crossover. So maybe Master Chief, but then say, no, that's not a great idea. I think Master Chief would get demolished if he went to the Warhammer universe.
Yeah.
Whatever universe. Oh.
No, yeah, so that's a bad idea. Okay, maybe a Warhammer, maybe Titus from Warhammer in, say, Helldivers.
Okay, what? You are stuck in Doom
I'm stuck in Doom.
because that's your favorite game. Come on.
My favorite game is actually the Dragon Age Origins.
Okay.
Yeah, I love that game. That's a very good game. I had to retry it because, like you said, gamers need to expand their horizons. When I first played it, I was maybe in 10th or 9th or something. And I started that game up and I was like, what is this? This is a strategy game and the game is not real time. You can pause it and you can strategize. I'm like, I don't like this. And then I shut it off. Then a few years later, I played a game called Banner Saga. And it is one hell of a game. I love it. The art style is so good and the story is amazing. And the same kind of gameplay. It's like a strategy game. So I thought, okay, let's now give Dragon Age Origins a try. And then I played Dragon Age Origins and it is the best game I've ever played. I love it so much. I've played it like around 3 to 4 times. Human, elf, dwarf, I've played everything. I love that game. And I love the fact that you can choose your own dialogues. I love those kinds of games. I love telltale games. It used to be so amazing to like sit with my family and like we should decide what the dialogue should be. So it's a very fun experience, and it brought that Dungeons and Dragon experience to that. So yeah, Dragon Age Origins is the best game. One of my favorite games.
So you are stuck in that game. What character?
If I'm
would
stuck in that game, I can maybe take Geralt. I'll be Geralt. It'll be
pick?
very
From
easy.
Witcher 3, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Actually, that's a very
Cakewalk. But if I want to make things very interesting for me, I'll take somebody from like a older, like a newer universe, someone from the future, so that they are like, oh my god, what do I do now? There's no medication. There's only swords. There's no guns here. So maybe I can take. I don't know. Maybe somebody from Cyberpunk, because they're all.
They're very reliant on their
on their
part.
implants and all. So maybe going that and going in with normal human body would be.
I would never make it a challenge for myself. Okay, I'd want to play like God mode. So I'd be like,
yeah.
Doom guy in Animal Crossing,
Yeah.
just squishing those tiny little things.
I would also like to play Overcooked.
Overcooked would be fun.
Overcooked with any game character and like try to see what like.
Yeah.
Doomslayer in Overcooked.
That would be a bad idea.
He'll be just like fuck everything, dude.
Like really, you expect me to deliver burgers? Okay.
Overcooked would also be a very fun game with somebody from who's not experienced a big restaurant. So somebody from the old ages, maybe.
Yeah, that would be fun. I think that would be
Like,
interesting.
how is it? This is not a tavern. This is like a full-blown restaurant we're trying to manage here, man. So yeah, I would do that as well. Overcooked with somebody, maybe somebody from Dragon Age. Alistair from Dragon Age Origins is a great, fun character. Is very funny.
Yeah, like a centaur kind of a character, but an overcooked world would be fun.
Okay.
That would also be
okay.
a great idea.
Amazing.
What about you?
Okay, so obviously I'm stuck in God of War.
Okay.
Which character can fight all that level of power and Greek character?
Doomslayer.
Yeah, of course. There is no question. Why are you asking this?
I would
Superman.
mean that.
Superman.
I mean, Superman is from DC. It's not.
And he wouldn't fight any other gods, to be very honest.
Yeah. Okay, I would choose Dante from Devil May Cry in the world of God of War.
Fair
Because-
enough.
yeah.
Fair enough. I think that's a fair.
It will be more light-hearted then.
Yeah,
It
a
will
fair
be. It will be
matchup.
as a fun gameplay experience.
I can see.
Yeah, actually, it'll be fun. It'll be fun.
Yeah. So moving back to the game dev questions, like I was asking, you said like when the whole iPhone thing happened, and then also you talked about how games were being priced at like 2050 or something. So how I came up with this question is because when I was in my MBA, we were tasked with a project saying you guys are managing a startup, create a whole budget of whatever you're making and give a pricing of what your product is. So I, of course, chose a game studio, and I ran a 30 guy studio, 30 people. But when it came to the pricing, I was little skeptical on how to price games, because how are we pricing? Because there is no one tangible product. There's just one product that's not even tangible. It's being distributed. So how do game developers price their product? How do they come up with the price that okay, this region this will be selling for this much, and this region it will be selling for this much?
And that's also a good question, because it will stop piracy in kind of way, because many PC gamers pirate most of their games, and I feel which is not a good thing. We should respect the developers' work and hours they have put in, and it shouldn't just be as a pirated for free. I never ever have pirated a game, because I respect the work and hours, the dedication and passion they put in. So the pricing is a really confusing topic among all the upcoming devs.
So I think it's very interesting. Now, pricing, game development itself has so many different business models, right? There are free-to-play games, okay, where I've been playing League for like all these years. I've never bought anything, okay. I've never purchased a skin. I've never spent any money on that game, Okay, but have I provided other benefits to league? Yes, of course. I've got more players to play. I've spoken about that game so much with other players that I've actually got convinced other people to start playing, and they've spent the money in the game, right? So when it comes to price points and everything, right? There's a lot of factors that go into it, right? The Someone like a league will have a very different pricing model than someone who is making a game where Helldivers, for example, right? Helldivers is something there where you pay an upfront cost of 2,500 is what I bought the game for, and that's it.
And then you also pay for the PS.
You can the PSM, if you're playing on PSN, but PC, so that's fine, and we got rid of that issue of PSN requirement.
Yeah.
So all of that is sorted. So these are two very different business models. Okay, free to play has its own economics and business model, and upfront payment has its own economics and business model. Now, by and large, the conversion is dictated by market forces. Okay, honestly, because a game which is for $60 in the US, okay, cannot be for $60 in India for sure. Okay. Over time, having made mistakes, having tweaked and improved upon those values and all, it's now come to a function where $60 worth in US would be somewhere around 5,000 in India. Okay, so earlier it used to be like a straight up conversion, but now we're not doing that, and purely it's a hit and try, try and miss kind of situation. So very largely the acceptable values are now stabilized. Okay, and that's really what it is. How do devs define what is the worth of the game? Again, it's still a business, right? So you're try and get as much as you can, right? And prices keep changing. Plus, I think what the community at large doesn't understand is that there are so many other things that happen during the lifetime of a game, right? A game that is put up on Steam today, okay, for 5,000 might go on a winter sale and be available for 50%. So the pricing is a factor of a lot of these things. Okay, seasonal mein kya, what kind of, how much do I expect to recover during sale season? How much do I expect to recover during bundles? How much can I, and what is the lifetime value of the product? So essentially what you're trying to do is you're trying to maximize, obviously, everyone's trying to maximize profits, right? So it's a factor of what is the lifetime value of the game? How long do you expect the game to stay relevant in the mind of the community? Okay. And, how, so, yeah, so you kind of do a prediction. So let's say if it's going to say, I say my lifetime relevancy of the game is going to be 3 years. You're going to hit a peak and then sales are going to start dropping. Okay. You're going to have to do something to bring it up. And then you're going to have to bring something to do it
Seasons
up.
and updates.
So seasons, updates, patches, this, that, all of that come into play. What you're trying to do is you're trying to hit 3 saal mein, I've spent so much money, and for the 3 years that it stays relevant, I will have to spend this much more money to keep it alive, to keep patching it, to keep marketing it and all of that. Here's my total expense. Here's how much I should definitely make over and above how much I have spent. Okay. And then you try and, distribute this amongst all the spikes that will show up, and then you kind of keep going up and down with the price. So it's not a singular price point that you decide on. You say a base price and then discount pe ye hoga, is time pe ye hoga. If you've planned some patches or DLCs or something, so you expect to monetize that also. So then maybe you can reduce this price. So a lot of factors that go into your own. So it really depends on the game itself, right?
What is the product? Basically?
What is the product? What is the lifetime value? How much expense it is going to take to achieve that lifetime value? From a But I think basically it's all about value. Okay, what's the value proposition that you can sell?
But the issue with that is few games who price their game like way too expensive or like in a different manner. Like gamers anticipated कि भाई इतना कौन देगा, and the game just fell off before it is even started, it is even launched. So that factors, how can the upcoming game devs avoid it? Like suppose a indie studio who has developed a really amazing game, like we discussed it at Gaming Con, the developers who made Spookaboo, we were amazed by that game, and he asked us that what do you think if this game was published? How much are you willing to pay for it? And we were like
1,500.
1,500 to 2,000. It's a great game. But he was still skeptical that the game should do well. So I want to list it for 800 or 900, but it wouldn't profit. Like that is what upcoming game devs can, fear.
So there's a lot of factors. So now when you say like so this happens a lot in the industry right now, right? You release a game and it doesn't have that if it doesn't reach that critical mass at launch, okay, everything falls apart. Okay, now what happens is something like some game will have been priced at, let's say, $60. Okay, they are trying to maximize return at the start as much as possible, with the promise of a lot of content coming up later.
Right.
Okay, but what players don't realize is that, yes, you're gonna pay a hefty price, and a lot of this is going to then go into funding the development for the promised stuff. Okay,
Right.
if the base game doesn't manage to hit that, okay, it all falls apart. Okay, and then suddenly this price now seems unfair.
Right. Yeah.
But so the risk on the development side is really high over there. बोल रहा है मैं 60 charge करूँगा. Okay, and if at that price point they don't manage to gather enough funds to recover dev cost अभी तक का plus आगे का dev cost, okay, they're in, and they're gonna have to take the loss, and they're gonna have to say like, okay, I'm screwed. Now they have to also live with the bad rep that they get. So it's become an extremely risky
Studio का नाम
proposition.
खराब हो जाता है.
So I'm not saying this factor should continue. Okay, in a way, like I said, it has to be fair to both sides, right? Devs should get their fair share of money and reward for the effort that they put in, and players should get value for money, right? So these things are, again, these are all different business models that are constantly evolving and being tried. So yeah, indies can't afford to do that. Okay.
Yes.
So indies generally tend to stay away from this high price point with the promise of more value in the future, because they know for a fact that they have a lot of uncertainties even without the money.
Right.
Okay, my team might decide to move on to the next project, or I might not have that much idea. So typically what you'll see is indies try to create a complete thing. They don't try to go into that live operations, live services kind of a structure, because live services is its own nightmare to deal with. Okay,
Right.
today a game like Helldivers or a League or any of these online games, Call of Duty, all of them, the cost to keep those games alive is insane. Okay, server space, data, yeah, because your the devs, okay, see, you and me as players, we pay a fixed price, okay, for like every month I'm getting my 300 Gbps line from some service provider, okay, for X amount, and that's it. My fixed cost is that. As a consumer, it's not fluctuating. On the dev side, so you pay fixed amount for X amount of data that might or might not get used. Okay.
Right.
However, on the dev side,
It
is completely different. They are being charged for the data. Okay, they are being charged for keeping the game on the server.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they are being charged for data by by how much data is being used.
Okay.
Okay. So every packet of data that the server sends back to your game is a cost.
Right.
Dang.
Okay, so we live from a player side, we have a flat fee that we pay.
Right.
On the dev side, you're not paying a flat fee. It goes. So my players जितना बढ़ते जाएगा, okay, उतना मेरा cost भी बढ़ रहा है.
Fair enough.
But उतना कमाई भी बढ़ रहे हैं.
नहीं, not necessarily.
Not necessarily. Okay.
Right, so that is why. So it's
Highly risky.
it's extremely risky. So a league will have, say, suddenly see a big spike in player count, but nobody's buying skins.
Yeah.
It's a bad thing for them. They don't want players then.
Okay, so then how does Fortnite earn?
Well,
Battle Pass.
battle passes and V-Bucks
All these
and
skins are available on the Battle Pass.
They also provide free V-Bucks if you have played enough. And like,
I've played Fortnite and it does not provide you free enough V-Bucks for you to buy battle. You will have to grind
if
a
you
lot.
if you buy the battle pass once, you get the whole V-Bucks back. But if you complete the whole 100
Buy
tier
the Battle Pass
once,
and you can
plan it out. refund it again and
you
again
can
every
plan
season.
it out.
it takes effort. I mean, there is that financial wizardry that goes into thinking about this as well.
You are the financial.
You could
Yeah,
probably-
I'm into finance.
So you could think about this, okay? Because keeping all these things alive, there is a business side to games as well.
Epic
Okay,
ऐसे तो नहीं चला रहा है मजे के लिए.
and there is that money that needs to come in from somewhere.
Right.
This is the project I would work on for my black book in college. Wait.
Yeah, go for it. You know, it's an interesting thing to do. So pricing is a
Very vast.
vast thing, right? The business of games itself is very vast. There's
A
so-
whole different category of team looking at the finance.
Yeah. So there's also monetization design that comes into play. Okay, you have to design the monetization in a way that it makes sense in the grand scheme of things, in the gameplay itself. You know. Yes, the EA guy said it very badly, but what he was trying to say was genuinely okay. I'm not saying charge for every bullet you shoot in Call of Duty. Okay, but you have
That's
to.
what they are roasted about.
Yeah, but he kind of went overboard on it. But the point, the concept is real, is that you want to try and weave in the monetization into the gameplay, okay, which is important, right? Because then it's value for money. Right. Okay, Varna, you're just buying skins. Now a lot of games eventually run out of these skins ke ideas, and then they start doing something which is completely,
Collaborate with some other game and put their skins and exchange skins.
that's Fortnite.
I mean, like the thing happened. This was between Warframe and not Warframe. What's that game? It's a shooter with 3 different categories.
Every other shooter.
No, Ubisoft key.
X-Defined.
X-Defined.
No.
Rainbow Six.
I mean, For Honor and
See, again,
Division.
Tom Clancy Division.
हाँ, 3 ही अब shooter है, इससे ज़्यादा तो नहीं है भाई.
Okay, but I get what you're trying to say. Like the crossovers wala thing. Again, it has to be done in the correct way. If done correct, there's nothing wrong with it. What Fortnite does, okay, as much as I am, personally, I find it scary because I don't want everything to be only Fortnite, okay. But what they do is fantastic, right? If it is pop culture, it has to be in Fortnite and it fits, okay. Fortnite has evolved the world of Fortnite in a way that you don't feel off कि ये इसमें क्या कर रहा है. Okay, you say like, it makes sense.
Destiny 2.
Destiny 2
and For Honor like exchanged skins completely in the whole game. Like that was their marketing.
Yeah, but then again, I'll give you another example which players are loving right now. Helldivers and what's that game? The old game, yeah. Helldivers did a new skin line commemorating a older game. Okay, and players loved it. Okay, so it's you have to try and there's no right
There's
or wrong
permutation
answer.
combination.
There's permutation combination. You try it and a lot of league players today complain about all the league characters that are coming up now, or all the skins that are coming up now are like so K-pop and so Korean type of thing.
Okay, but okay, yeah, this is. I have one.
But then it's
thing.
monetization. They need to survive.
Somehow, because now the people who will be paying are those kind of
So you gotta pay. You gotta cater to your paying audience just as much as you're catering to your playing audience. Okay, that's the big problem with the free to play games, right?
Yeah.
Because for them these are two separate type of players. I would say.
Do you think skins are pay to win?
No, not really. They're
In
never
any game?
No, they're never designed.
So then why should we?
It's a mistake, okay? Cosmetic. Kabhi kabhar, these kind of things are very easy to make mistakes, okay? Like how much can you control the color of something, okay, so that it doesn't blend into the environment too well, okay? And theek hai, if you think that skin is pay to win, okay, mat khelo. Or notch up your contrast on the game when you're playing a game.
Like few of the Valorant people say कि if you have Elden Flame का skin, it's a pay to win. Like aim अच्छा होता है. And I frankly think that's bullshit.
I would say कि the skins wala thing is more towards individuality, where if there's a player who wants to stand out, like I'm not playing with the normal skins, this is my style.
Flexing basically.
Flexing and my style completely. Like I wouldn't want. I wear boots. I would not like to wear sneakers. So that is my opinion. And if I get that in a skin, I would like to क्या बोलते हैं, reflect.
Build
that
my
in
personality
Yeah,
online.
absolutely. You want your own persona
to be reflected in my character.
Yeah, few of the gaming content creators also do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, skins and all that, I think is a very fair way of monetizing free to play games, right? It used to be pay to win, okay, when this whole free to play
The FIFA thing also happening.
things, all of that, yeah, FIFA and a lot of shooters also became. But then Apex Legends. But then eventually people kind of came to this middle ground of okay, if you want the game for free, there has to be some way to monetize it. Like I said, data cost for a developer is insanely high compared to what you and me as players pay for. So it's not so yes, while most developers will feel like they're just being greedy and everything, and I'm not saying they're not. Yes, they are. A purpose of business is to make money. But players are incapable of really understanding the cost. Right. Okay, that goes into. So not all devs are. The only problems are the devs that don't happen to deliver on the promises that they make. Okay, a game is worth as much as the value that you derive from it. Okay, if I pay 2,500 for a Helldivers today, and I played it for 20 hours, dude, I'm happy. I got my
Money's worth.
I got my money's worth. Okay, I paid 2,500 for a small indie game, okay, and I played for 10 hours, but it's a unique concept. I got my money's worth. As long as I'm happy as long as the game and the devs deliver what they promised me for the price point, I think really
I'm good with it. Yeah,
it's fair.
Okay,
enough.
the one thing about price which will change in the upcoming year is the launch of GTA 6. Do you think it will set a new benchmark for AAA titles? Because GTA 6 is something insanely crazy. Like it has been hyped up for 12 years. Every meme you go, there's a comment, we got this before GTA 6. Every meme. And like ये भी तुम लोग को इस पे भी comment करोगे कि we got GTA 6 का talk before GTA 6. Right. And if GTA 6 is launched, it is assumed to launch about $80 to $100 के बीच में. Will that change the benchmark of AAA titles का gaming?
I don't know. I mean, let's just wait and watch because it's too early to say, right?
Yeah.
Again, at the end of the day, it's the community that will decide.
Yeah, right.
If after all the hype, okay, and plus you gotta understand, the more the hype, the scarier it is for the dev. Okay, I mean, I can imagine the scenes or the pressure at Rockstar designers on the Rockstar game designers right now, where ये red होना चाहिए या green will also become like a big decision, okay, where the UI button should be, or how the character should move, or every single thing will be under so much scrutiny, okay.
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough.
So it's insane. The hype plus ये. Now, the flip side of it is that if Rockstar manages to live up to the hype, the 12-year hype जो अगर वो जो था, if they manage to live up to it, $100 people are gonna be happy to pay.
Yeah.
I have friends who just bought PS5 just to buy GTA 6.
I'll pre-order it. So there are people who are willing to try at least.
Willing to try. And the jury's still out.
Yeah.
Let's see when the game actually launches. The community will decide.
Yeah,
Okay. And if the game lives up to the hype, $80, $100 price point is not gonna be anything. And if that happens, will it set new benchmarks? Of course, yes. It's going to now become a case study for all the other devs to say, how can we justify a $80 or $100 price point for our content?
Right.
Okay. So yeah, it will set benchmarks, but it's still in the air. It all boils down to how Rockstar lives up to the hype.
I'm amazed how confidential they have kept this 12 years of work. We haven't got much
I mean,
leak.
they got leaked twice, man. Come on.
I mean, yeah, but
They
still,
got leaked. I don't know.
we still don't know much about it.
Maybe it was an
The
intention.
trailer was 1.2 years ago.
Yeah.
Trailer was 2 years ago.
One and a half year हो गया.
Damn.
Yeah.
So you said that if GTA 6 lives up to the hype, it will become a case study. You being a HOD of a game dev college, like you're teaching kids to make games, are there a few games that you would like make a case study out of and teach kids do's and don'ts about games
As in from the industry?
from the industry? Yeah.
I mean, I keep bringing in games and incidents from. I keep drawing from my own experiences as much as
like
possible.
we talked.
Yeah, because that's really what I bring to the table. I mean,
You have to be more of a consumer than the actual as a game designer to understand all of that inspiration and case studies from all the other games.
yeah, I mean, you have to know what you have done and kind of learn okay, what was the lesson to be taken from that, right? Like so when it comes to teaching, okay, this industry changes like this, okay, because tools keep coming in, better tools, better softwares. The tools that I started off with are irrelevant now, okay. But does the learning, the conceptual understanding that I had from those tools, does that still apply? Of course, yes. Okay, a pixel is always going to be a pixel.
Right.
Frame.
A byte is always going to remain a byte of data, and a frame is always going to remain a frame.
Fair enough.
Gamers are always going to expect higher FPS and lower latencies. Okay, so from a technical standpoint, what can you do to make that happen? That's just those things keep evolving.
Okay.
Okay, so what happens is, okay, new hardware is coming, great, fine, ठीक है. But if you want to use this is how you do it. Okay, you understand it, and then you try and say, okay, how can I do? If I understand the architecture of this, how can I, leverage it to get better FPS?
Right.
So the principles remain the same. The tools and the way to kind of do that implementation keeps evolving.
Fair enough.
So like cars were still cars 100 years back. They still had a steering wheel and they still had 4 wheels.
Right.
They still have it today.
Yeah.
But now ergonomics come into play, aerodynamics come into play, things that you didn't think about back then. So it's the same,
Just with added steps. basically.
yeah, with lots more added stuff and newer tools and everything.
This is a big question. The question is, how do you see India positioning itself in the global gaming industry? Because so far, I don't think we have made much of a name in the global gaming industry, have we?
Well, it's a tough ask, right? It's like, I would say it'll take a little while to get there, but it will definitely get there. Okay, I've seen a lot of improvement coming from India over the years. the industry's opened up, more people are aware now, and the awareness about, and hopefully, these videos and these kind of talks and all these things actually raise awareness amongst people about the legitimacy of this industry.
Yeah.
So I would say it's going to take improvement from all sides. Okay, from the industry, from people, being more open minded, from people actually buying more games. I remember there used to be a time that people didn't consider paying for games as a valid thing, but they'll go out and spend like 3,000, 4,000 on one night of binge drinking. I mean, am I saying one is better than the other? No. But they both have their place, and this can be just as much fun, right?
People have their preferences for fun.
Again, and fun, it's just same thing, right? So those things times are changing, and all of those kind of things are happening. And also, if there is more trust and faith coming from one side, then the other side has a reason to do it. So like if more players come in, okay, demanding more Indian content, then Indian devs are then saying, okay, fine, because at the end of the day, making a game is a long process, right? It minimum a year you'll have to put in behind making any game. So how am I going to survive this time frame? Is it going to be worth my while, right? So it's a gamble for both sides. Okay, and that is slowly changing. Having said that, has India shown any promises in that area? Yes, we have had some very good Indian devs. Okay, Ogre Edge Studios and their game Asura, okay, was one game that really put us that showed what can come out of India.
Raji was
It was nominated as best indie game at the Game Awards.
Raji?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh wow. See, fantastic. There you go.
I was like very, very proud to say it.
Yeah, I
It's a
was
studio from Pune.
It's
Yes.
a studio from Pune, and those guys have done a fantastic
And I was
job.
like really happy to see that Indian games are reaching Game Awards level ka stuff. That was really proud. Raji developers, if you are watching, we are really proud of you.
Great guy.
You can join the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, more episodes coming.
Yeah, so yes, Raji is a great example. Asura is a great example. There's lots of smaller sparks of brilliance that are now, there's more of that now than earlier. Spookaboo is also a great example. That game looks very fun and promising to play. So compared to earlier, the number of indies have gone up in India. So the more the number of indies, the higher the probability of one of them making it big. So yeah,
The one upcoming big indie is Mumbai Gullies.
Mumbai Gullies, okay, that's been on the radar for a lot of
Yeah,
time.
it's looking promising. It's been in under dev for 2.5 years.
And more than that, I think Nikhil has been working on it for like really long time.
Acha, you know the dev?
I mean, everybody knows Nikhil Walinkar. Okay, he's been talking about Mumbai Gullies since forever.
No, I thought you personally know him.
No, I personally, I mean, I've met
In the same
everyone.
industry, yeah.
It's a small industry at this point.
You can also join the podcast.
Everyone knows everyone.
Everyone can join a podcast.
Yeah.
Everyone's met
If
everyone.
you
at
are
some
into fiction and you create some sort of great thing, you can join us.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. So we all kind of meet everyone at every other place and say hi and have these little talks. So that way everyone knows everyone.
What would you prefer? Like, this is something, I don't know, it comes into my mind at times, that if there is a triple A thing being worked on in India, or even a double A title, and what would you prefer to have it originally, the audio and the whole dialogues thing being in Hindi, and then later being dubbed for the global audiences as English, or start in English and then later on dubbed for the regional audiences in Hindi?
Yeah, that could spread more awareness to non-gamers in
Yeah.
India. Ki like Hindi mein
Hindi
game,
mein
that's a
game
fun
aa
sort
raha
of entertainment I would like to enter.
Yeah.
Interesting. No, actually, this is a very, very interesting question. I think it will really boil down to the developers.
Okay.
At the end of the day, if your first language, or if the voice in your head talks to you in Hindi, then go do Hindi. But then is the voice in your head really a good dialogue writer or a narrative writer? Okay, so then maybe not. I think it will really boil down to the kind of content that you create. So I think it really boils down to either of the approach is good, but if you're gonna do Hindi first, then you gotta have a very very design, very very well thought out reason for why it should be Hindi.
In Hindi.
First.
Okay, fair enough.
But you definitely want to make it in English, make English dub also because you want
Global audience to have it.
audiences.
Got it. Okay. The last question.
Last question.
Is the the universal gaming snack
Oh,
is Doritos and Mountain Dew. So what should be the Indian gaming snack?
I don't know. Well, when I'm gaming at home, I probably have like poha or something like that. Okay, poha and pani is enough for me. Okay, so I really don't think
There should be like
there really should be like a branding there. I don't know. Maybe someone will figure it out.
Yeah, there goes a meme कि bring out the Doritos and Mountain Dew, let's have a game night. तो वैसे ही अगर इंडिया में जैसे मूंगफली और जीरा सोडा
Nimbu pani and chakli.
Pani and chakli. I don't know. Someone will figure that. I think this is a question more for Haldiram.
Oh, yeah, we should bring Haldiram in and
How would you design something for
gamers?
For gamers.
because like a controller हाथ में चिकना भी नहीं होना चाहिए. We don't want our controller getting sticky and.
Wait, so Haldirams need or any of these chips guys.
Haldiram,
need
if
to
you're
think about
watching, Haldiram, Kurkure, anybody is.
Lay's.
Lays is
You're already thinking.
Balaji, if you're watching, please, man.
Okay, so if you have any creative thoughts regarding Indian gaming snacks, do comment it.
Yes, I think that would be fun.
Yeah.
And if you have any more questions, like if we for the future videos and future podcasts, do let us know. And thank you, Jaydev sir. It was a very good conversation. It was very fun. And for our first episode, it couldn't have been better.
Like we got the whole place and we got the veteran in game dev.
Yeah, veteran.
I would. There are so many others like me. There are better guys.
We'll go master.
Okay, thank you.
Master.
Yes.
We'll go master.
There's lots of people out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which will be on the episode.
Hopefully.
Yes.
Okay.
So thank you.
Thank you, that's a
Thank
wrap.
you for being here. Thank you for
Sir.
having us.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, we are basically in Whistling Woods here.
Yeah, Whistling Woods. And if anybody is an aspiring game dev, please come and visit the college. It is amazing. The rooms and the labs and the classes that we saw, they were
It's
top
like
notch.
a dream. Yeah.
And you saw the faculty.
Yeah. So cool teachers. ऐसा college में तुम्हारा नहीं होगी.
Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you
for
guys.
watching.